Hello and welcome to Speed Campaigning with the Palm Coast Observer. I'm Brian McMillan. I'm the newspaper's editor and I'm your host. And I have with me Anita Moeder. She's running for Palm Coast City Council, District 3, and we're happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Very good. So first of all, we're going to do this in 3 segments. First is the big picture. Second is a speed round where you have to give your answer in the form of a number. And then last is take 2, so you can explain a couple of those answers. So first off is, how old are you and how long have you lived in Flagler County?
So I am a retired person, professional, and I've lived in Flagler County for 4.5 years.
4.5 years. Very good. Next question. These are the 2 big picture ones. What is the thing you've accomplished that makes you feel most qualified for this position?
Great question. So my background, my education is in a degree in business management and computer science. I have a strong career in high tech, which means making quick decisions, turning around things, changing environments, learning how to deal in those environments. And the key skills that required were things that were also attention to detail, thinking outside the box, negotiating, budget management. All of these are skills that I have very strongly in my background, and I think will be very powerful tools for me in the City Council and help me be a strong supporter of putting people first.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question on the big picture is, what are your top 3 priorities in office?
So there are lots of them, but the top 3 really boil down to, again, putting people first. And what I mean by that is making sure that we are looking after our seniors, our young people and families in our community, making sure that we give them the best life quality possible. And the way that I will do that is focusing on 3 different areas. The first, and really the cornerstone of good growth for Palm Coast, is jobs. The second is jobs, and the third is jobs. No, the jobs.
Answer.
So what I mean by that is I would put that as my first focus, to aggressively pursue companies to come down to Palm Coast. I mean jobs that are career orientated, not in the fast food or retail sectors, which are fine for people who may need a job and not have career plans or objectives, but career jobs that pay well so that families that are moving to Palm Coast can live here and work here. And I would also look at expanding the focus. Right now I know that they have a few key industries that they're targeting. I think we can expand on that. And the aggressive action would be to actually put the mayor and the city council out on the road to go out and talk to prospects, to really pitch it, because we believe in Palm Coast. And that's the first thing that a good salesperson needs, is that passion for what they're selling. And I'm very passionate about Palm Coast. So that's number 1. Number 2 is people programs. People programs to, again, look after our citizens, to listen to what their needs are. And in the petition process, I heard time and time again people saying, where is our senior center? People want a senior center. It's not a room in the community center. It's a center for seniors that is dedicated to them and to their needs. It means being able to have their art classes, their dances, their social dinners, all of those kinds of things in a real environment where they can be happy and safe and know that that's their space. So senior center, I'm very positive on that and wish that something had been done sooner rather than later. The second piece of that is looking also after the young adults. Young adults here have really no place to go. I think a young adult center would be something that would be very positive for those 18 and older, to have a place to go, to stay out of trouble, to be safe, and still stay in Palm Coast. So those are the kinds of people services. And also the third one would be in that area, an extensive summer jobs program for the kids. Give them some really good things, and I see that there are some great programs that are working through the Flagler schools, internships and all kinds of things through Flaglership. We want to do more of that. We need to do more of that. We've got great kids. We need to make sure that they have something to do in the summer, and so that would be the close-up on my second point. My third point is, you balance your checkbook?
I do.
I don't balance my checkbook. My husband balances my checkbook, but we need to balance the checkbook as a city. Palm Coast needs to need to look at how we're spending our money. We need to look carefully at the details of that, not just the high-level view from which you really can't understand what's going on, but dig into the details, do a forensic audit, look at how money is being spent, and look for ways that we can make savings, look for ways that we can better spend our money on different programs, instead of immediately talking about taxes, adding taxes. The latest, of course, is they've brought back the utility tax discussions. Those are bad taxes. They're taxes that emphasize or are regressive. They target the poorer of our citizens much more in much more detail or much more quantity than they do for anybody else. Somebody who's making $10,000 a year will feel it much more than somebody who's making $100,000. But let's see what we can do without new taxes. We need to stop taking out loans. We have close to $200 million in loans that are outstanding for our community. We need to start paying those down, and we need to stop taking out new loans. So those are my three. They're not sexy. They're not out of the ballpark, but they really are very important to me and what I think Palm Coast needs.
Okay, very good. So that was the big picture from Anita Moeder, and we have now the speed round. So I've got 11 questions, or 11 statements, I should say. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 means you completely agree and 1 is completely disagree, the city and county governments have a good working relationship.
7.
There is a duplication of service with fire EMS between the city and the county.
8.
The city and county should consolidate fire EMS, even if it might mean putting the county in charge as the lead agency.
8.
The city will need to raise taxes to meet the needs of its citizens in the next 4 years.
6.
The city charter should be reviewed by a committee of citizens.
10.
City council members' salaries are too low and should be raised to the level of a full-time worker.
7.
The city manager position has the right amount of authority to make the city run smoothly.
8.
Jim Landon is doing a good job at being the city manager for Palm Coast.
6.
Hiring Buxton to recruit retailers was money well spent.
3.
The city's code enforcement department is too strict.
No speedy here. I'd say 5.
The city is doing a good job at being friendly to businesses.
8.
Okay.
So
That's your speed round. So you got 2 questions to go back on. Take about 30 seconds each. If you want to look at what they were, then you can do that.
The first one is on consolidation of the fire department. I think our fire department has done a fantastic job. They continue to do a fantastic job. And the only way that I would support putting them into the county would be if we ensure that all of the line people have their jobs or better, that their response time is better than what we have today, and that it's going to be less expensive. So it's not a matter of just arbitrarily saying, well, yes, we're going to do it or not. It's a matter of looking at the details. Again, look at the details before taking a decision. This is a very big deal. I mean, our lives, our citizens' lives depend on these guys, and they do a heck of a job. The EMS services, some people think that it's duplicated. Other people make the case that it isn't, that you need to send out a fire truck with the EMS. So I think that we just need to look very carefully at what the pros and cons are before taking a decision. I'm a strong supporter of unions and would want to make sure that everybody is taken care of.
Okay, so did you have one more that you wanted to talk about?
the city will need to raise taxes to meet the needs of its citizens in the next 4 years. So
And
I
you
gave
said, I think, 6.
I gave a wishy-washy because at the city council, which I attend pretty regularly, they're already talking about not having enough money in 2017.
Mhm.
So my response was based that your question was in the next 4 years. The city council is proposing that in the next 2. So I think, again, let's look at what we're doing with our money. Let's make sure that we're spending money wisely, and let's not just jump in the bandwagon and say we need to raise taxes.
Mhm. Okay, very good. So again, this is Anita Moeder, District 3 for Palm Coast City Council. On August 4th, we'll be publishing the elections guide. So in your driveway, you can compare all the answers for all the candidates. And don't forget to vote on August 30th. Thank you.